Scott's here, Bethel's here. Is Dom here? Dominic? Oh, okay. Dom? All right. I'm going to try to go without it for a few seconds. Let me just start by saying a good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you all so very much for braving the heat and being out here with us. But Philadelphia, if you think it's hot out here today, you just wait until Saturday. Because on Saturday night, Philadelphia won't just celebrate America's birthday. We will host the largest July 4th concert celebration in Philadelphia's history, but the largest July 4th celebration in America. The One Philly Unity Concert for America. I want to thank and recognize our incredible partners, because you can't operationalize and implement a vision as broad as this without having the best and the brightest subject matter experts and professionals to actually put it all together. With that in mind, I want to say a special thank you to the gold standard in planning large-scale global events, not just in America, but I'm talking about across the world, and I'm referencing none other than Philadelphia's own Scott Merkin, the president and executive producer of ESM Productions. Please give Scott a round of applause. Scott, if you had hair, I know I was making you pull it out, but I thank you so much for coming back home to do it all, and I'm very grateful to you. I also want to say a super huge thank you to Sean G., another native son of Philadelphia, who is the president of Live Nation Urban, and don't forget our son, Questlove of The Roots, who is also an executive producer of the event, both of them, Questlove and Sean G. Public safety, by far the #1 priority. We want to have an amazing time, but we knew the intergovernmental cooperation and collaboration that would be necessary to pull off an event of this scale. And I am super happy to affirm that our police commissioner, Kevin Bethel, he, along with every other member of our public safety team, they have crossed every T and dotted every I, and they will be on the front line, helping to keep Philadelphians and visitors safe this weekend. Give it up for the best police commissioner in the nation. Next, our Deputy Managing Director, Dominic Morales. I first saw Dom's skill set in action during a tragedy that occurred here in the city, and then a weather tragedy. Dom, I want to say a special thank you to you for leading an extraordinary citywide effort throughout these 40 days of celebration. I don't know if you all have paid attention to the responses that our city has received from visitors from across the world, but your work has a huge, huge part to do with this. Give it up for Deputy Managing Director Dominic Morales. And these next two people, they have not slept in I don't know how long. I think they take naps at night in between answering my calls in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning. But they have done it all with grace. And I want to say a special thank you to both of them, because as mayor, I wouldn't be here at this moment actually seeing this vision become a reality if they weren't the two leaders responsible for making sure this vision became a reality. And that is Chief Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett Harley and City Representative and Director of Special Events Giselle Jones. Can each of you, I just want you to move up, please, if you will, because I want people to know who you are. I have not had a chance to say it to you. Thank you. I know the sacrifices that both of you have been making. I want you to know that I apologize for every time I've called you 3 o'clock in the morning or text you at 4 o'clock in the morning, but thank you so very much for your graciousness and the professionalism that you have exhibited during this time. Also want to say a special thanks. He's not here now because we are hosting the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Mayors across America are gathered here in City of Philadelphia for an amazing event that will take place tomorrow. And Michael Newmis, who is our director for our 2026 activities, he is crossing those T's and dotting those I's now, but give Michael Newmis a round of applause. She's actually holding it down. You hear me reference her as my Chief Air Traffic Controller. And you know, nothing in this city is moving without her leadership and without her assistance, and that is my Chief of Staff, Tiffany Thurman. Tiffany, thank you, thank you, thank you. Give her a round of applause, please. Finally, to every city employee, every first responder, every volunteer, every partner, every union member who has helped us prepare for this special moment, I want to say thank you. Philadelphia, from day one, my vision was simple. As the birthplace of American democracy, Philadelphia deserved a July 4th celebration worthy of America's 250th birthday. A celebration that showcases the very best that our city has to offer, and we needed to demonstrate this not just for the nation, but for the world to see. And this week, that vision becomes a reality. Over the last few weeks in particular, many members of the press and others have asked me, you know, Mayor, why did you move the stage off of Eakins Oval and onto the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art? The answer was simple. We needed more room for more people, and more room for a bigger stage, and more room to host the biggest July 4th show the city of Philadelphia has ever seen. I need you to know that as the first woman mayor, the 100th mayor of the city of Philadelphia, first woman in 341 years, I refuse to allow anyone to put my vision and my thinking for what our city of Philadelphia is and what we should represent to the world. I won't allow anyone to limit our thinking or to put our vision in a box. That is represented in this amazing lineup that we have. In Philadelphia, just for those of you who are watching now at home, I want you to know this incredible lineup includes Christina Aguilera, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Jill Scott, Meek Mill, Seal, State Property, Kathy Sledge, Infinity Song, and so much more. And because I promised Philadelphia a once-in-a-lifetime celebration, because I need you to remember, we won't get a second chance to do this over again, Philadelphia. We only turn 250 years old once in a lifetime. So we should have a once-in-a-lifetime celebration. But I want you to know we didn't just stop there. I called on our hometown native sons, the Roots, to help curate a show worthy of this historic moment. I asked the incomparable Wanda Sykes to bring her unforgettable humor to America's 250th birthday. And I personally invited Giselle Jones. I don't know if you remember that day we were outside in front of Overbrook High School. But I asked one of Philadelphia's own very publicly, because I wanted the answer to be yes. I asked one of the biggest stars in the world to come home to be with us on Independence Day. He publicly gave me his word on the record, and I am proud that he will be back home. And I'm referencing none other than our Will Smith. Please give Will Smith a round of applause. Welcome home, Will. We are so happy to have you back. So now I want you to know that while you're getting ready to celebrate, your city has been getting ready too. Thousands of dedicated public servants will be on the job across Philadelphia so that residents and visitors can focus on making memories and celebrating safely. In just a moment, you're going to hear from Commissioner Bethel and Deputy Managing Director Morales. He's going to tell you more about our emergency and security preparations. But first, there's something else I'm especially proud of. From the very beginning, I wanted this celebration to be open to everyone. That's why the One Philly Unity Concert for America, it is completely free. You don't need a ticket, Philadelphia, or to any of our visitors. You can just show up. So there are no tickets, no barriers, just people coming together on our Benjamin Franklin Parkway to celebrate America's semi-quincentennial. And that simply would not be possible without our presenting sponsor. Some of you may have been with us a few hours ago. We're usually outside, but because of the heat, we had to take Wawa's Hoagie Fest inside of the Constitution Center. But you need to know that this event would not be taking place without our presenting sponsor, Wawa. I love all retail outlets, but I'm a born and raised lifelong Philadelphian, and everyone needs to know that Philadelphia is a Wawa town, and I want you all to give it up for our presenting sponsor, Wawa. Thank you, Wawa, to the entire team. I thank them for helping to make this once-in-a-lifetime celebration accessible to everyone. And then, speaking of access for everyone, I want to give a special thanks to Joel Davis, the president and general manager of NBC 10, and the entire NBC 10 team. I'm not sure if Lauren is here today, but y'all rocking it, Lauren, and we are grateful for you all, the entire NBC team, for bringing every performance, because there are some people, and I have some family members, Chief Deputy Mayor and Giselle said, well, you know, and on the greatest of days, I wouldn't be able to come out during this heat. Are we going to be able to see the concert? Yes, thanks to the NBC 10 team. They're going to be bringing every performance and our spectacular fireworks show into homes across our region, because whether you're on the Parkway or in your living room, this celebration belongs to all of us. I look forward to having a party and dancing and singing and creating this memorable moment with you all. Before Scott, and Scott's going to be the next voice you hear, our executive director, Scott Merkin of ESM Productions. I want you to know that when I arrived here, and you've heard me say this on numerous occasions, Philadelphia, I ran in 2023 and I was sworn in January 2024. And Giselle and Vanessa, I don't know if you noticed, but maybe it was about March or April. All of these articles were being printed about what was Philadelphia doing to prepare for America's semi-quincentennial celebration. And I can remember feeling the pressure of folks saying, Philadelphia lacks ambition. They're thinking too small. We need a leader. Where is the legacy project? During past milestone celebrations of American democracy, we built bridges, the Please Touch Museum, and all of these bricks and mortars project. I said, well, wow, as soon as I get here, I just got here in January 2024. You want me to build a bridge or in a museum, in 18 months? I talked to our city council president, Kenyatta Johnson, members of council, and we agreed that when we asked what was in the budget, before I assumed my role or before he assumed his role, before he became president, we said, well, we just got here and we've known America was going to turn 250 years old for a long, long time. And Philadelphia is the birthplace. So what's in the budget? What kind of fundraising has been done to make it happen? Because the critics were right. Philadelphia, as the birthplace, we couldn't do what any other city was doing. We couldn't just do something that was average, something that was mediocre. What we did had to be a reflection of this moment and our history. And there were no funds in the budget. So we started from scratch, and I believe, was it $120 million? $120 million that we secured for our semi-quincentennial celebration in Philadelphia. I need you to hear this from my mouth to your ears and not being filtered through anybody else. I do not apologize to anyone about making sure that the city of Philadelphia, as the 6th largest city in the nation, the birthplace of democracy, we were going to have a celebration that is fitting of to and for our historical significance and prominence, but one that could be seen, respected, and honored, not just in our city and commonwealth and nation, but in the world. I want people to remember where they were when America turned 250 years old and what we did here in the place when it all happened. Our One Philly Unity Concert for America, it is a legacy experience, and my hope is that you will never forget it. I now want you to put your hands together for the man who is producing it all, and that's Scott Merkin of ESM Productions. Welcome back home, Scott, although you really never left. We just brought you back.
Thank you, Mayor. I am home. I live in this city. I travel all over the world almost weekly, but I'm home, and I'm happy to be here. And just a brief introduction. This is Jenny Wu, the co-founder of ESM Productions. Wow, so 30 years ago, a kid from 19149, which is Oxford Circle, and an immigrant from Hong Kong who came here to go to Temple University, moved into Chinatown, we started a company. And fast forward 30 years, we couldn't be more honored and proud to be serving this city, to produce this show right here at home. And we get to save one hotel room because I don't need a hotel because I live here. So we're very excited. You can see the activity. We've been out here for about a week with about 600 people working. We're very proud of our stagehands and our teamsters and our electricians and all the men and women of the trades that really work hard, but out here in the heat, working safely and making sure also that mission one for us has been provide access to what is a monument. Some people call it the steps. It's a monument. And it's been really great to see the visitors from around the world come to see the steps. And we're happy to be at the bottom of the steps. And so we're excited. The mayor went through the lineup. We've all heard about the lineup. It's going to be awesome. Maybe a surprise or two, Mayor. You never know. But the gates are going to open at 3 o'clock, and it is free. We need folks to go through the gates so we can count people and we can make sure everybody's safe. But it is 100% free. And drink your water. Plenty of water, right? We've added water stations based on the weather forecast, so if folks bring empty water bottles, there's plenty of places to fill water all day. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the gates open, and I'm making a prediction that by 4 o'clock, you're going to hear some music, maybe even at 3 when we walk in. And it is virtually nonstop music with some interludes in between. But we're running this TV style, as we say, Mayor and Joel, so that we're turning these bands over quickly so that there's nonstop action. And, of course, then we conclude with fireworks. There's no better city to see fireworks on the 4th of July there's no better backdrop than the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And we're really excited. And our job here is to provide the hospitality. We want everyone to come and have a great day. We know that they will. And folks are going to watch it, maybe watch a little bit on NBC 10 and then come out, watch a little bit. We think that's fantastic. We're excited. We're very proud of all the men and women who are working here and the partnership with the city, the police, the fire, and the OEM and everyone else. And, of course, Giselle and Vanessa has been lockstep. And we've been working on this for months to make sure that we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. So we're very pleased to be here. We're happy Philadelphians to be selected to do this event. And we look forward to seeing everybody out here on the 4th of July drinking plenty of Wawa water. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Our Commissioner Bethel, and then you'll hear from Dominic Morales in that order.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I want to, again, I always come up here and commend the mayor for her leadership. She gives us our why, our multiple marching orders, and then we execute. I just want to, I know Dom will get into some of the finer details, but we are ready. You know, 2 years ago, this operation and the planning really layered into the work that you're seeing today. For us as a department, on June 14th, we would launch our work into the Fan Fest. And we've had over 100 men and women down on Fan Fest, and things are going extremely well. We've already, as you hosted, 5 of the FIFA soccer events that have gone extremely well. I do want to have Chief Singletary and Chief Buford join me up here as well. And then Chief Presbyorka, who's not here. These are the folks behind the scenes who have been helping to put things together. You don't do this work by yourself. You do it with great leaders and great folks on the ground. Me and Wynton have been at 40, me entering my 40, him 40 plus years. I do want to acknowledge, and I've done this before, Wynton will be retiring very shortly, but it's been a great honor to have him serving in this space. I know he'll hear, you know, when you talk about leadership, somebody who could have walked away from this job stayed steady and helped us support us through this operation. I'm eternally grateful for that. We will have one of the largest deployments we have since the Pope on station. We will have double our assets down on the 4th of July down on this blueprint right here. We'll have hundreds of officers deployed across Center City on different streets, Chestnut Street, Barkin Street. We'll have a large number of men and women who will be also at the stadium, who will be doing that event. Many of those men and women will shift downtown as the crowd dissipates at the event. They will come downtown. I am grateful for the support of all of my federal colleagues, the FBI, ATF, DHS, and all of those who have supported this work. So that's a layered approach. There's things you're going to see visually, my men and women on the ground, and then you're going to see things that are not being visually seen. And that layer of support has been astronomical. I do want to take a moment to give my condolences to the state police and Colonel Bivens. They lost a trooper today who was doing a car stop, doing an investigation, and he lost his life. And so I say that because the state police have been a great partner throughout this deployment. They will be providing almost 300 men and women to support us on Saturday, which is a significant undertaking for their department. And I feel confident that some of those men and women were going to come from Schuylkill County, potentially, where this officer lost his life. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to all of our county partners. We understood going into this process, the team knew that we needed additional support. So we have support from Montgomery County. We have support from Bucks County. We have reports from Delaware County. We have support from Chester County. And so as you continue to hear me say, we have a large number of assets. This will be a safe event. You know, this will be a safe event. You know, because the preparation for the men and women, I am extremely proud of the men and women of this department. They have stood up to this challenge. They have responded. Many of them have given up their vacations, recognizing the importance for them to be to do this work moving forward. And so again, we are ready. You will see us out there in force. We're prepared for any occurrence. And there's going to be things you see. There's going to be a number of assets you will not see. But we will be able to pull those assets if we need them. And so I want everybody to come and have a good time. Don't mess up the party, right? Let's have a good time. The energy that I have seen has been absolutely amazing. You know, the FIFA, the fans. Mayor, I called the mayor. I sent him on a Saturday. I said, Mayor, I'm downtown, and I just love the energy. And let's keep that going. Let's finish out this July 4th festivities at a positive note, and I'm confident that everyone will do that. So I'll now shift it over to Dom for his comments.
Please give our police commissioner a round of applause. Thank you, Commissioner, and the team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. So I too want to give my thanks to the full team that's up here, really under the mayor's vision and leadership. Chief Deputy Mayor Garrett Harley, Director Jones, Managing Director Teal, Chief Thurman. This has been one of the most rewarding projects that I've worked on in my nearly 12 years, going back to the Pope, back to the DNC, and everything in between. And the reason for that is because not only have we proven we can do 3 to 4 days worth of an event in these other events, we are in day 21 at least worth of activation. And it's not just up here talking about how well it's been going. It's been all of the Philadelphians and all of our visitors who have taken to social media on their own accord to talk about their experience. And so you don't have to listen to a single thing we say.
Come on, Dom.
You have to see the experience that folks have had and will continue to have through the 4th until we roll right into the MLB All-Star and until we finally look at what the history moment was the summer of 2026. And so I am the Deputy Managing Director for Community Safety and Emergency Management Coordinator, Dominic Morellis. And we are prepared for a fun and monumental 4th of July and want to make sure you are preparing to come and celebrate with us. Today, the Philadelphia Emergency Operations Center is activated for the 22nd consecutive day out of a planned 40 days of activation for this historic summer, supporting the safety, security, and logistical elements of these events. In that center, more than 35 agencies are represented every single day, meet every day at 10 a.m., share the updates of the day, get a check on the weather, get a check on any updated risks, and make sure we all have the same plan. Behind us are health inspectors, building inspectors, fire code enforcement, streets department workers, sanitation workers, doing all of the city logistics behind the end and keeping the city running every single day. And so while this 4th of July will be under a heat health emergency, we have been preparing for this risk. This is a risk we knew 3 years ago when we got this event scheduled for July, and have plans in place with our many event partners to ensure safe events, and we need you to prepare to have a fun day too. So while we ensure that the city's heat health emergency plan provides access to more than 40 air-conditioned cooling centers across the city, 150 pools and spray grounds through Parks and Recreation, enhanced homeless service outreach, additional fire department medics across the city, and the Philadelphia Corporation for Aging heat line available for phone calls, we have also worked with our event partners and city agencies to ensure that additional measures at these world-class events. When you visit us down here on the 4th, keep an eye out for misting fans and shade structures at Fan Festival and here on the Parkway. Stop and visit any of the 6 pop-up visitor centers and hospitality hubs throughout Center City for a restroom break, a cool drink of water, or information. The closest one is right across the street, and it's been open for those 22 days as well. Check the event that you are attending for specific policies about bringing your own drinking water or empty bottle for refilling. And if you need it, stop by any of the medical tents at these events staffed by our Philadelphia Fire Department medics. We are prepared to have fun this weekend and look forward to you joining us. Now, here's how you can plan ahead to have fun. First, get a good meal and hydrate before you come.
Yes.
While you are here, make sure you are eating and drinking regularly. Scott, I think we have plenty of great options of food and beverage while folks are out here. Number 2, dress appropriately with light-colored, loose-fitting layers that can be removed, and wear sunscreen. Number 3, monitor yourself and loved ones for your exposure to the heat, being mindful to take breaks, get out of direct sunlight, and move to air conditioning or shade or cooling where possible. And lastly, stay connected for event updates. You can get free text message updates about all of the Welcome America and Party on the Parkway events and One Philly Unity concert events by texting the word America to 888-777 for free text from the city. You can get free text updates about FIFA by texting the word CUP, PHL, to 888-777. And you can get emergency alerts for every part of this city 365 days out of the year by texting ReadyPhila to 888-777. All of this information, all of these resources, including road closures and event details, are available on the philly.gov website and the Access Philly mobile application. Finally, while we ensure safe events across the city from West Philly to South Philly up to the Northeast, I have some important 4th of July reminders to share. And there are plenty more experts behind me, with our public safety partners who would emphasize this.
Thank you.
First and foremost, leave the fireworks to the professionals. We have planned an incredible show for you here on the Parkway. Come down and see these fireworks instead of taking it into your own hands. Number 2, practice safe cooking and grilling at home. Number 3, please do not use fire hydrants for cooling. You can damage them, break them, and make them unavailable for firefighting. And finally, if you see something, say something. It could be suspicious activity, it could be an unsafe condition, or it could be someone who needs help. Call 911 or contact the closest police officer or staff member at any of these events, and we will make sure to get that assistance there. Mayor, it's my honor, and with that, I'll turn it back.
1 second. I want you, if you will, Deputy Commissioner, please go back over the number of pools again, and where can people get a list of those pools?
That's a great question, and I know we have several of our representatives
Phil.gov.
who, our health commissioner, our homeless services commissioner, our behavioral health team is here. So you go to www.phila.gov/HHE for all of the cooling resources. There's a real-time map updated across those sites, and HHE stands for Heat Health Emergency. phila.gov/HHE.
Thank you so very much, Deputy Managing Director Dominic Morales. You heard me, Philadelphia, affirm that if you are not able to, for some reason, come down on the Parkway to join us in person, you can party with us at home while you're sitting in your living room, you know, underneath the air coming from your air conditioner. And you can do that because our very own NBC 10 will be making sure that our One Philly Unity Concert for America is coming direct and live to you. Now, I want to ask Joel to come on up and talk about NBC 10. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Give him a round of applause, please. Thank you, Joel.
So I'm Joel Davis, President, General Manager of NBC 10, Telemundo 62, and NBC Sports Philadelphia. We have broadcast the concert from the July 4th event for years, but earlier this year, the mayor's team came to us and said, we want to do this bigger and better than ever. It's the 250th. We want to bring in the guy who did the Bad Bunny halftime show, Scott Merkin.
Give it up for Scott, y'all. That's exactly what we said.
And we said, all right, we're in. So with the help of our team, led by our Vice President of News, Elizabeth Flores, our Tech Ops team, we are ready to roll. So listen, we expect tens of thousands of people to be here watching the concert in person, but we have 8 million people where our broadcast signal reaches. So for those who can't be here, if they have issues with the heat whatsoever, if you want to come for part of it, you want to go home but not miss anything, you don't need to. We'll have it for you. We'll start the broadcast at 5 p.m. We will go as long as it lasts. We're expecting around 11:30 midnight, the fireworks will take place, and you can see the whole Bad Bunny effect is happening right here behind us with this incredible stage. So we look forward to carrying it in its entirety, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Give it up for NBC 10, y'all. We're ready, Leah, for any questions.
One with Dan Snyder with CBS is for you and Dr. Powell.
Okay. Hi, Dan.
Just, you know, of course, we talked a lot about the heat. Any changes to the concert itself, or any changes people will see out here on when they get here? They're going to be out here.
Yes.
Fireworks are close to midnight. They may be out here at 3.
Right.
So it's going to be a long day. What should they be prepared for, and any changes to the concert?
So one, you heard me affirm, and I think we said this when Parks and Recreation Commissioner Susan Slauson and we were over at John B. Kelly's pool to kick off the pool season, and you heard our Deputy Commissioner affirm the number of pool sites and spray pools that we have. So Philadelphia, I want you to make sure that you go online to phila.gov and click the link so that you can find out which of these pools and spray pools is near you in your community. I also want Deputy Managing Director Dominic Morales to come back, because I think you said something that will some people probably skipped over. The first time I think I ever experienced it, it was actually going to an amusement park. But I remember walking by and I'm like, where's that water coming from? But it was actually coming from a fan. Describe what you were talking about with the mist.
Yeah, absolutely. So for all of these events, there's been a significant amount of additional heat mitigation resources that have been added. And so On the Parkway in particular, you should look for sprinkler areas. You should look for large fans that have water built into them that's spraying a mist. Stand there for a few seconds, let that hit you, sit in the shade, those types of things. Those are all part of the mitigation activities, in addition to taking care of yourself, right? Dressing appropriately, planning for the day. But we always, and frankly, I think this is probably the 5th or 6th really hot July 4th event on the Parkway in my time with the city. And so these are plans that we use every year, have used in years past, but keep eyes out for those things. And if you need something, ask a staff member, visit a medic tent. There is not going to be any shortage of water to drink, cool ice to grab a hold of, those types of things.
Commissioner, anything you want to add?
Just keep hydrating. If you want to prepare, make sure you're either bringing a water bottle that you can refill at one of our filling stations, or bringing, if you're going to the stadiums, bring the 20-ounce bottle, a sealed bottle of water. Hydrate and be smart. Celebrate safely. We don't turn 250 every year.
That's right.
Noel has a question, but before, Office of Home Services, is there anything you need to ask?
Cheryl, yeah, anything from a homeless services perspective?
Good afternoon, Cheryl Hill, Executive Director of the Office of Homeless Services. What I will add is that if you see someone who may need some help, you can still call Outreach Coordination Center at 215-232-1984. As it was mentioned, there are approximately 50 cooling stations, and we definitely encourage anyone who needs one to go into the cooling centers, but also make sure that anyone who wants to come into shelter come to an intake center so that we can get them shelter as well.
See, just to talk with you real quick, Pat Logan, and we have Lauren May.
I'll close with Lauren. Pat? Yes, I'm going to let Scott and the team, any numbers down, any estimation. How many, this is what I was actually thinking about, Giselle. I was thinking about what you all did during the Eagles parade. I was thinking about the People's visit. Like, how many people do you think we had at the Eagles parade? How many people do we think will show up?
Well, I would pray everybody shows up, but in past large events, we have hosted upwards of 1 million people on various large parades, as the Phillies World Series in 2008, and we had multiple millions of folks for 2 NFL Super Bowl parades, and we have been reported to have upwards of 700,000 or 800,000 people for the papal visit and the mass that you saw here on the Parkway.
Scott, anything?
So the Parkway from the stage to Logan Circle is almost a mile. So a mile of people is, without even trying, well over 200,000 people. And as that grows, I think we can get very close to that papal number of 400,000 or 500,000. But I also think what might be a little bit different here is because this is really an all-day music festival. I think we'll see some flow. I think some people will come early, and some people will come for something and maybe go watch it on NBC 10, and others will come down for the fireworks. So I think we'll see a flow and some transient in and out, but easily over 300,000 I think will be here.
Thank you. Scott, we didn't say the name of the country music awards person.
Sorry. Yep.
Can you confirm that the city paid $15 million
Excuse me.
for a show with Christina Aguilera as the headliner? Do you think that's a good value?
So let me publicly affirm to you that, as with any large-scale investment that the city of Philadelphia has made under my tenure, Philadelphia, this is what I need you to know. It is standard operating procedure for us to give an accounting that means a fiscal impact report as we conclude these events. And I just want to quickly take you back to some examples. I can't tell you about what other administrations have done in the past, but I can tell you that after we had to work through a plane crash in Northeast Philadelphia, a weather emergency here in the city of Philadelphia, an unfortunate multi-day strike here in the city of Philadelphia. After each of those tragic events, we made sure that we produced an economic impact report that detailed every expenditure associated with those activities. And, you know, if I'm you, Pat, and I want a number to start with, I want you to start with the number that people have been hearing me talk about since I became mayor in January of 2024. And that is when I got here, there was $0 in the budget for Philadelphia to celebrate America's 250th birthday. And again, a great deal of criticism that came from across the board. I mean, you know, people in the hospitality and tourism agency, editorial boards, Philadelphia lacks ambition during this historical moment. It needs a leader. Will we be the drum major? Philadelphia's the birthplace. It should be producing a world-class event for world-class visitors. We won't think small. We are a world-class city, and we are the birthplace of democracy. This celebration will clearly reflect that. It will be readily available and accessible around the world, and you will get a fiscal impact study at the completion of 2026. Because it's just not this festival. I want you to know that what's also different, because the last one I can remember, I guess Philadelphia, I'm telling my age now. I remember 1996. Now, what was I? I was only 4 or 5, but I remember seeing the patriotic, all of the patriotic decorations downtown, because it was a big deal in my family to like go to Woolworths to get a hot dog and all of that, Strawbridge's Winemakers. It was beautiful downtown, but we didn't see anything reflecting the bicentennial in my neighborhood at near 19th and Cheltenham in Northwest Philadelphia. Well, this is different. Our semi-quincentennial celebration, and we were adamant about this. This is Council President Kenyatta Johnson and myself, that our celebration would reach neighborhoods across the city. And no matter your zip code, your community would be a part of this. So we appropriated. It has been overwhelmingly reported that $120 million was secured for our semi-quincentennial celebration. And at the end of our completion, you will be able to see an accounting of how that $120 million was spent. And if we had to go over it, you'll be able to see that as well. But not just because this is the semi-quincentennial, and as much as I respect you, Pat, not because you or any other member of the press is asking the question. It'll be because that's the standard operating procedure for the Parker administration. And that's a standard that I've established as mayor of this city.
We're closing with
Lauren. No, and Lauren, I didn't talk to Lauren before, so I didn't ask her to ask that question. But this is a great one for me to get on the record. Lauren, you know that I was first elected to public office in my own right in 2005. Prior to that, I had been a senior staffer in the office of Councilwoman Tasco in City Council. And when Michael Nutter became mayor of the city, I can't remember what year it was. I remember starting out, Joe, I mentioned this to you. It was 2008. I remember him sort of kicking off his inaugural party down at the Navy Yard. And I remember hearing about this group called The Roots. And they were going to be the anchor of his activity. And for those of us who are bona fide Philadelphians, you know The Roots. If you know Black Lily, if you know creative and performing arts, if you hung out at 11th and Market, if you remember the radio stores, I'm talking about when we bought LPs, you know The Roots, and you know Quest, and you know one of the best MCs of all time, Black Thought, who is a part of The Roots. Well, Michael Nutter and his infinite wisdom as mayor decided that The Roots, a homegrown Philly band, team that has achieved global prominence, that they would lead our July 4th celebrations. And during Michael Nutter's entire tenure, Scott, ESM, along with The Roots, they produced some phenomenal events for the city of Philadelphia. I can actually remember some of them. Well, when Mayor Jim Kenney becomes mayor of the city of Philadelphia, what year is that? 2016. He's sworn in January 2016. The homegrown Philadelphia Roots, led by Quest, Love, Tariq, Black Thought, ESM, they've been producing this event for the past 8 years. All of a sudden, without any explanation, simply making an executive decision that was his right as mayor of the city of Philadelphia. Now, I didn't like it. I'll be honest about that. I mean, why would we not stick with the hometown team who had done such a phenomenal job? You couldn't question the production, highest level of professionalism, but Mayor Kenny in his right, and he had every right to decide that he wanted to have another structure in place to produce the July 4th events. Hence, the establishment and the productions via what we refer to as Welcome America. They have done an amazing job in their growth over the years. The concert was just one of the events. We have a litany, I'm talking about days of events, produced by Welcome America, and they have done an amazing job. Michael Delbean and the entire team. However, when I arrived and I began reading those articles about the lack of ambition and vision, and that Philadelphia didn't understand its significance to American history, that we had not prepared ourselves to demonstrate to the world that we were a world-class city, and we weren't prepared for the semi-quincentennial. My job is to be a doer and a fixer, and I made a decision to make sure that the city of Philadelphia would create a legacy experience. Not enough time for a concrete brick and mortar project, but I knew we could have a legacy experience that would live on in the hearts and minds of Philadelphia, the nation, and the world. But I knew I needed world-class experts to produce it. And I called on Scott Merkin of ESM. I called on our hometown heroes, our native sons, the Roots, Sean G at Live Nation Urban, and I asked them, would you all come together and use your professionalism, your relationships, and your networks to produce a legacy experience for the nation that could serve as a foundation for unifying America? Would you be willing to do that? And they all answered yes. So I'm excited about it. I'm proud to have the Roots back home, Scott back home, Sean back home, doing what they had done under the Nutter administration for 8 years. And for those of you who are looking for some sort of source to get reminded of what it was like, I think one of our local newspapers, it may have been the Enquirer, they wrote an article back in, what was it, 20 whatever. But when they were quoted about the Roots not doing the event years ago, and maybe that was in 2016, 2017, I don't know. But go back and take a look at it. And they said, "Wow, it's a bummer. We don't like it, but hey, it happens, and maybe one day we'll get a chance to come back, stronger than we have before." And that is going to happen on this Saturday. You said people who are what, Lauren? In line. Good question. So one of you now, I'm thinking about the mobile teams walking, just distributing to water to people. I'm going to have Dom. I'm going to have our health commissioner, Scott Giselle, anyone who has anything to add, but that's a great question.
So the lines, the entry points, there are several. There are 8 entry points around the parkway, and it uses this. We're using the same security techniques that we use at stadiums, so people just walk through. There's not a line to wait. There's no ticket being scanned, so there's not really lines to get in. It's a flow to get in. And then we're very used to doing festivals, not just here. We did Made America for 12 years, but we're also all over the world, right? And in the barricade lines, where young folks like to go and be up close. We keep a close eye on them. We hand waters out, and we're keeping an eye on folks. If they get too hot, we pull them out, and we make sure they get attention. So there's a plan in place, and we actually there's many positions on this show. There, like I said, there's over 700 people working on this show. One of them is our ice master. Where there are 40 or 50 places where ice will go, and it's somebody's job to make sure that the ice and the water is constantly moving. And so we don't expect a lot of lines because of the way that the entry works. And we want, to Dominic's point earlier, we need folks to also keep after themselves and make sure they stay hydrated. And there's plenty of water filling stations and misting stations around the parkway.
Fire Commissioner Thompson to talk about the ample medical coverage, not just from a response standpoint, but also to keep an eye out if they notice somebody that needs help at a time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Fire Commissioner Jeffrey Thompson. And we have put a lot of planning and a lot of work into this. And the good news is we've done this before. Right. So what the fire department has always done is we lean forward, we lean into these events. So we will have EMS personnel that are stationary and mobile. We will have people that are walking, they will be on bikes, and they will be around the entire footprint looking for things for people who are not doing well so we can get them prompt medical attention.
Proactively.
Yes.
And the last thing I'll add before turning to Health Commissioner is we're thinking about our workforce as well. A playbook that we've used every year going back over a decade now. We need to specifically thank the Salvation Army, the Philadelphia Second Alarmers, the Fraternal Order of Police, our Police Explorers program, and several other partners who are going to be mobile contact teams, particularly for our workforce that are at stationary posts, but they're also out there to keep an eye out. If somebody needs assistance, we're going to take care of everybody who's here. And so those contact teams are in the perimeter as well, mobile throughout the footprint. Health Commissioner?
So to augment everything with EMS, we'll also have our Medical Reserve Corps out there to help. And overall, as someone who's come up the ranks and worked this event for several decades, we take care of our staff, and we know it's July in Philadelphia. We know what we're doing. We're even more aggressively planned and ready to go. So, and for folks, make sure you bring your water bottle. Make sure you hydrate. Be smart. Think about what you're ingesting. Think about what you're drinking. I will have to say that. Limit the caffeine and the other beverages. Drink more water and hydrate. And if you're feeling some kind of way, reach out to a staff member. We'll take care of you. All right? Thank you.
No more questions, but I do want to say this, Philadelphia. We talked about this vision includes diversity. And it was very important to me that we had diverse genres in our music. And we gave the lineup, but Scott, I left somebody out, and a friend of mine who had read when they saw his name, I didn't watch the CMAs, but they were like, are you serious? That person's not really coming. And I'll be honest, I didn't know about that person. So can you just walk through for the people of Philadelphia, the diversity, not just in the acts, but the genres of music so they can connect it? I don't know that. You do. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
So we start the day with a tribute to John Coltrane and jazz, right? John Coltrane obviously was a great Philadelphian, and we're going to start the day with John Coltrane and jazz. And then there's an amazing band from New York called Infinity Song, which is a family of brothers and sisters that are rising up the charts right now with its amazing harmonies, and they're crossing into many genres. And then we have Seal. Everyone knows and loves Seal. R&B actually started as a club act in London many years ago, but he is obviously transcends all sorts of genres. Jordan Davis is who we're referring to, big country star. When we called him to ask him, I didn't even finish the sentence, and he's like, "I'm there." What is this? Parkway? He said the Rocky Steps. I'm there, right? So and then of course R&B doesn't get any better than Jill Scott. Right? Jilly from Philly.
New album.
Right? I happen to know one of the biggest Jill Scott fans is on premise right now. So, and then the Roots have they're worldwide known for the Roots Jam, which is what we did here on the Parkway a number of years ago. We do it during the Grammy week. And so the Roots will be jamming with lots of folks, including a very rare appearance on stage by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Wow. Right? And also Kathy Sledge from Sister Sledge, State Property. It's going to be a great jam. Probably see a few surprises there. Meek Mill is coming out, another Philly, great hometown hero. And then Pennsylvania's own, and she's another multi-genre artist, Christina Aguilera, is really working very hard, Mayor, on rehearsals and creative and tapping into the Philly ecosystem with orchestra members and choirs and and it's just going to be a phenomenal event with Christina.
Did she just perform? Did she do something for
She
President Obama?
she did. She was part of the President Obama's Presidential Center opening and performed there, and so we're across just about every genre, and there's something for everyone, and every 45 minutes or hour we're going to see something different.
So you said the Roots, and you called it
the jam,
a
the
jam
jam
session.
Absolutely.
So is that like what Jay-Z did when all those different people would come up? So that's
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone knows the Roots are the best band in the world. Everybody loves playing with the Roots, so we're going to see a lot of jams. I think there's things we know about, and there's probably things that I don't even know about yet. So thanks.
Thank you, Philly. We'll see you on Saturday for the One Philly Unity Concert for America. Come on out or watch us at home. We're going to celebrate 250 years in the birthplace of American democracy. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick walk. I want to introduce you to Bruce
Get a picture of the mayor. She's walking towards the stage. If you need a little bit more. Dr. Palin. Yeah, he's right there. My first name, last
That's out of the mayor going on the tour.